I'm feeling a bit ranty today. And the reason I'm feeling ranty today is because I've had a problem with my Trek. I have mentioned it several times before. The difficulty I've been having getting the chain onto the big ring. So I took it to my local Trek dealer, which is not where I bought the bike from, because the shop that I bought the bike from didn't seem to be able to sort it out. I was worried that the front mech had gone wrong, might need a warranty repair. So I took it in. And the man looked at it and he said, "Oh no, I think that's just a little adjustment. I can see what's wrong with it." He said, "I'll do that for you now." And as he did, he put the bike on the stand, and like a chess player, he hit the clock. Morning. Because they're going to charge you quite literally for every second of their time. And of course they're entitled to do that, it's a business. But there's no goodwill. "Oh, that's a minor adjustment. I'll do that for you now, and I'll have a customer for life." None of that. So he's done a good job, I can't complain, I've paid him his money. But he said, "Your chain is pretty much worn out. And because it's so bad, you're going to need a new cassette as well." And I said, "What?" The one thing we do know with modern technology is how far I've been on the bike, because Garmin records every ride. And I've done 850 miles. He said, "Haven't you had the bike serviced?" I said, "Well, I had the free service when the bike was new." He said, "It's not enough." Not enough? 850 miles, 6 months, it's not enough. And I said, "Well, surely the chain should have lasted longer than that." But apparently that's my fault. Apparently it's because I've only degreased and re-lubricated the chain every 200 miles. And apparently that's not enough. Should be doing it every week. And if you ride in the rain, apparently you have to do the chain every ride. Imagine that, every ride. You buy a car, and you service it after the first year, and you've probably done 20,000 miles. And it's a complex piece of equipment with pistons going up and down and fuel burning. I mean, it really is. It's like asking a car driver to do an oil change every week in a new car. And if you go out in the rain, you have to do an oil change every time you drive it. I mean, are we really saying that Shimano can't make a chain last more than 850 miles? I mean, a motorcycle chain doesn't need that level of maintenance. In fact, modern O-ring chains are pretty much maintenance free. And they're going a hell of a lot faster and a hell of a lot further. And from the time you start cycling, you're being continually asked to part with your cash. I've mentioned before, tyres cost more than car tyres and don't go a tenth of the distance. Never-ending maintenance. Not to mention how much the bike costs in the first place. And then there's all the different bikes. When I was cycling in my younger days, you had an upright bike and you had a race bike. Nothing else. Now, you've got a mountain bike. You've got a hybrid bike. You've got an endurance bike. An aero bike. Gravel bike. Manufacturers telling you one bike can't do everything. They want you to buy 3 or 4 bikes. And if you really want to get into it, you can then start buying carbon fibre wheels and all kinds of other accessories which cost a lot of money, because they'll tell you that it makes you go faster. I read an article this morning explaining why you needed different clothing on a gravel bike than you do on a road bike. Of course, the fact of the matter is, you don't. It's the latest thing in an attempt by the cycling industry to take your money away from you. See, the problem is, cycling is a sport, not a means of transport. If it was a means of transport, people wouldn't put up with it. But with a sport, if you can persuade people that you've got the next big innovation, they'll pay any amount of money for it. They also rely on peer pressure. People love to brag about how many upgrades they've made to their bike. How much money they spent on their new wheels. And look down their nose at you because you didn't. And before you know it, you're thinking, well, all my mates have paid that much money and they're better cyclists than me. I'm not trying to put you off cycling. What I am saying is keep your wits about you. There's always someone waiting to take cash away from you. Learn to do your own maintenance if you can. And be prepared for it to cost you more than you first thought.